Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, fellow traders. Welcome to our weekly market overview with Noah FX Pro. Okay, so let's jump into what we have for today. First of all, risk disclaimer. You want to understand that there's risk involved in the trading financial markets. You want to ensure that you're trading with risk capital only. Okay, so I'm going to be your host. My name is Nana Obin Alexander. I'm the senior market analyst at a reputable brokerage firm. I'm a full forex trader and I'm a forex coach, so I'll be walking you through this weekly market analysis. So please do me a favor of if you enjoyed the video, like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and also hit the notification bell. So subsequent videos, you get notified on the go. Okay, so here's what we'll be covering today ahead of the market opening in some few hours. So we're going to look at the review and the market review. Then we'll look at some BTC, some cryptos with BTC, USD, and what we're looking at. So we'll also look at gold, which XAUUSD. Then we'll look at the USD trends that we are seeing and what to expect. We'll also look at a few other currency pairs. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen for my slide. Okay, so let us jump into the chat. Okay, so here you have the price chart for the Bitcoin against the dollar. And then, so last week, by this time last week, we pointed out a potential head and shoulder. And it looked something like this, where you were looking for a break above the neckline. We did get that break. However, you could see clearly that just like we pointed out, this area here held firmly. So this was what we were looking at, something like this. I'm just going to do a rough sketch of what we were analyzing, what we were looking out for. We had a trend line like this, and then we were looking for the break. This was what our price pattern looks like. Now, okay, this is just a rough sketch, but you can see the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. So I'm going to take this off right now. Actually, we did get the break and we got some good trading opportunity, but not as long as we expected. So you could see how when we broke above the trend line, we did go back to retest this area that I was pointed out to. And then you see how that area served as resistance to push price further down. Now, with the current price structure, I've always maintained the stance that we could see Bitcoin go much lower. And you can see how price is trading within this range here. Now, this kind of structure usually is preceded by a breakout one way or the other. You could see that we have this bull run, and then we had this break of trend line, which then proceeds to form this bear run. Now we are having markets consolidating within this range. So you can see how price is consolidating within this range here. And this is a sign that the market is buyers and sellers are in a tug of war, more or less. So we're going to, when the market is forming this kind of ranging pattern like this, we're going to likely get a break to one of the sides. Now, we're not in the business of guessing the market. We want to see price pattern. However, with structures like this, we could likely see the BTC fall lower simply because the momentum is bearish. You could see that I've actually had my price arrow around here looking. I kind of expect we could see BTC go back to 25K or 24K, but that is only if we get a daily close below here. That could then expose here. If you get a daily close below here, below this level, that could then leave us holding, looking towards 25K level. On the flip side, for price to head higher, we need to see a daily close right now above this area, and then that could then see price come back to retest this trend line. You could see how this was the high, and then the lower high. So we could then have either a new lower high, or this could then become what's from the catalyst for bull run if we get a break above. So the places to watch, you want to see if we get a daily close below here or a daily close above here. I'm going to stay away from this because obviously I feel there are better opportunities in the market right now, and I'm going to stay away from trying to speculate on BTC. Okay, so let's go to the next thing we're going to talk about, which is gold. So XAUUSD is one we're going to look at quite frankly. Okay, so for last week as well, you see how we had this break above the channel here. So we had this break above the channel. You can see how this was high. We had this clean channel here. You have the lows, the connecting lows down here. Now we had this break of this channel resistance, and ideally we want to see the price go up higher. Now the dollar was extremely strong last week, and which is why you see this price fall down lower, and obviously price is king. So as it stands, you could see where price is trading at a support level. It was support back here, it was support back here. You can see it was resistance here. You see where we are currently. So what am I looking for? If this level holds, we'll probably see price come back and retest this area. So if we do get some kind of price action on the 4-hour chart, or maybe on the daily candle, we have maybe a pin bar or some kind of consolidation pattern here that then forms some kind of bullish structure. We could then be looking to buy. But I would, because of the strength in dollar, probably want to stay away from buying gold because I would rather be buying the dollar. I'm looking for buying opportunities on dollar pairs. But if I do find favorable buying opportunities, favorable price action here, probably be looking for some price. But I'm not interested in selling gold, except maybe we get a daily close below here, and then we could be looking at some of these lows down here. Okay, so let's look at the dollar. I'm sure everybody saw the massive strengthening in the dollar. And before I look at dollar pairs, I like to look at the dollar index, so the DXY, which measures the dollar against the main major currencies. I've actually been looking for strength I've actually been anticipating strength in the dollar. We had this trend line that went dated back all the way from April. So you could see how this was, the dollar has been weak, and that is not going to go on forever. So we had this break, and I've been actually bullish. I've been accumulating dollar positions, and then last week we had this crazy run, right? Now in this kind of setup, and when we have the markets react like this, you can see that we have a situation where we are looking at a very strong dollar. Now for the week, you could see the mid sorry. The next major resistance come up around here. So sorry about that, I'm having cough. Okay, so you see where the next major resistance here, there's actually price pockets around here, right? So for the week, if the dollar continues to strengthen, we could see it head up all the way back here before maybe finding resistance. However, a more likely alternative is, you see how this is resistant, you see how there's a price pocket here. We could have a situation where the dollar heads a little bit higher and then consolidates before we get a kind of a breakout to the top side. So we might likely see some weakness in the dollar, but that would not mean I want to sell the dollar. Now let's look at it in terms of currency. So let's look at some of the major EURUSD. So we have this on EURUSD. We have this on EURUSD. So you could see how we have this setup where I was actually pointed this out as well on my trading room. So if you want to get access to my trading room, you want to join my broker IV Market, create an account with us and fund the live account. You get access to our private Telegram channel, and then you'll be able to access resources and trading rooms where you can day trade almost every day with me. So we had this trend line going back all the way down here. So we have this setup, and then we had this break. So from the break of this trend line, I've actually been much bearish on EURUSD, anticipating a stronger dollar. So I've been selling all the way all the way from this area. And then, so we had this crazy run. Now, what we're looking at is what are we expecting this week? Now, one of two things would happen. The dollar is ready. We are more or less in a risk off period. That's why you're seeing strengthening in the dollar and the yen, which are risk off pairs. So for Euro USD, any rotation into this area, or maybe even higher towards this area, towards this area here, you can see how that area here could then serve as a trampoline to force price to head lower, right? So we could see price continue to drift lower, and that could happen before we challenge this trend line. But I would prefer, not necessarily prefer, but I would probably expect some kind of consolidation before we see the next leg. So we could probably find that would probably give us good trading opportunity, buying from this, selling from this area, or maybe looking to sell anywhere if price gets up into this zone. So if I see price coming up into this zone, that could offer some selling opportunities back down. Now, if you take a wide time, what I call it, the bird's eye view, you would see that we have something like a potential head and shoulder, where we have, this could be our left shoulder, right? This could be our left shoulder here, and then we have the head. This could be our left shoulder here, and then this could be the head, and then this could be the right shoulder. Now, in this case, this setup would be complete if we get a break below this area. So this looks like the Euro USD is looking to set up to break lower. And this is likely going to be what happens, but obviously want to allow price to the confirmation. Another pair that I pointed out on my LinkedIn channel is the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar is one that has actually broken out. So I pointed out this head and shoulder back when price was up here. And you see how that quite nicely played out. So for the week, any rotation back towards this neckline. So if I see price head back up toward this neckline here, I'll be looking for selling opportunities. Obviously, even if this would be my overall targets down here, this would be target 1 and this would be target 2. So if we get a situation where price goes back toward this area, I'll be looking for some price action, selling opportunities to sell the market back down. If we get a close below there, I'll be looking to trade back down to this area. Let us look at pound dollar. So the pound dollar is also another. So you're seeing all the strength in the dollar. So the pound dollar is also interesting. We have this, you could see this trend line. You can see how it dated back to this area. This was support here, support all through this area. And then you could see how it also supports here. Now, this trend line has been broken. And when an uptrend is broken, like an uptrend line, a defined trend line is broken like this, it means we're probably entering bear territories, or we have entered bear territories. So right now, our favor is stronger dollar, and our favor is looking for selling opportunities on the pound dollar. However, the pound may find some support. See how this market is super extended. It doesn't necessarily mean that price will go back up. The markets may decide to continue to drift lower until finding a much stronger support here before maybe going back up, coming back down. But if I'm not really selling this pair, I'll not be looking to sell at this point. I'll be looking for some retracement back to some of these areas. If we do see some retracement to this area in this week we're entering, then I'll be looking for selling opportunities back down. So that's the way I'll be looking to play this one out. And let us look finally, just a quick insight, just a quick advice. When trading, when the currency pair or a currency itself is strong or weak, what you can then look to do is trade the basket. So you see that the dollar is strong across all border. So you can be looking to buy the dollar against other pairs, also, depending on, so if it's pound USD, you're looking to sell. If it's dollar CAD, you're looking to buy. If it's dollar yen, probably stay with dollar yen. If it's dollar Swiss, or you're looking to buy them, and then euro dollar, you're looking to sell. Sorry. Okay, so the same is true with the yen. The Japanese yen is also strong, just like the dollar is. So you're probably looking for strengthening or buying the yen against other currency pairs. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show on one more on EURJPY, and we have this move. So if you look at this, we have the market has been, trading above this trend line, and then we have this break of the trend line here. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, and then we had this break of the trend line here. That means we're entering bear territories. And so right now I'm looking for selling opportunities. So we could see price come back to this area. Then I'll be looking to sell this area. Maybe anywhere around here. If the price come back here, I'll be looking to sell, start selling from here, add positions as it head higher. The market could actually even come back and retest this area, but I doubt, because of this move is very strong. I doubt we'll see the market come back and retest this anytime soon. We could have the market drift lower for a while, so we could have a solution where the market come back here and then continue to head lower. So I'll be looking for selling opportunities around here. And we're looking for selling opportunities around here as well. If the market closes below here, I'll be looking for selling opportunities on the retest and look to sell back down here. I hope that makes sense. And last but not least, let's look at a pound pair. Let's GBPCAD. So GBPCAD has been, you can see how this pair has been constructive. We had this, this trend line break like this. And then we'll see how the market is now forming higher highs and higher lows. So even though it's not really moving fast, we're forming higher highs and higher lows. Now, what I'm looking at, what you see how the market has been trading within this range or within this ascending triangle, but the market is trading within this zone. As of last week, we had this break above. You see how this was support back here. We see how it was resistance here. There was resistance here. Again, resistance. Price has struggled to break above. Eventually, you see how price broke above here on Thursday. So Friday session, we tested that as new support. So we could see the pound head higher. So any rotation back to this area, I'll be looking to buy all the way up. Okay, so that will be all for me from this training. I hope you enjoyed the session. Please do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also share and then turn on notifications for more of